A few weeks ago on this channel, we covered the government's plan to remove 160,000 Australians from the NDIS to save money. It was a controversial story. Disability advocates warned it could cost vulnerable people their support, even their lives. But there's another side to the NDIS cost problem that gets talked about much less, and it's this: a significant amount of the money meant for Australians with disability is being stolen through fake claims, through fraudulent providers, through organised crime. This month, a fraud task force raided properties across Queensland and seized cash, gold, and silver linked to an alleged NDIS scam. It's just one case, but it's part of a much bigger problem that's costing taxpayers billions and undermining the entire scheme. Today we're breaking it down. Let's start with the specific case, because it shows exactly how this works. In April 2026, the Australian government's Fraud Fusion Task Force executed 5 search warrants across properties in far north Queensland, Cairns, and Brisbane. They seized approximately $176,000 in cash, gold, and silver. Investigators found $94,000 in cash alleged to be the proceeds of crime, gold and silver coins worth more than $82,000, and a cryptocurrency wallet. The investigation, codenamed Operation Benz, began in October 2025, after the National Disability Insurance Agency identified a participant allegedly submitting NDIS claims for supports and services that were never actually provided. The claims were allegedly facilitated through an illegitimate NDIS provider business that the same participant had set up and controlled. Read that again. A person allegedly set up a fake NDIS provider company, then submitted claims through it for services that didn't exist, and pocketed the money. The taxpayer paid for support that was never delivered to anyone. This is one operation, one set of warrants. The Fraud Fusion Task Force, which brings together the police, the tax office, Services Australia, and the NDIS, is running many investigations like this across the country. So how big is the NDIS fraud problem overall? The NDIS costs around $46 billion a year. Government estimates and reviews have suggested that somewhere between 5 and 10% of NDIS spending may be lost to fraud and what's called non-compliant payments. That's anywhere from $2 billion to potentially more than $4 billion a year. To put that in perspective, the fraud problem alone could be costing more than the entire annual budget of some government departments. The fraud takes several forms. There are fake providers, businesses set up purely to submit false claims. Like in the Operation Benz case, there's overcharging providers, billing them this far more than they would charge a private customer for the same service, sometimes double or triple. There's billing for services not delivered, claiming for therapy sessions or supports that never happened. And there's organized crime infiltration, criminal groups recognizing the NDIS as a large pool of government money, with historically weak controls, and deliberately targeting it. That last one is the most alarming. Law enforcement has warned that organized crime groups have moved into NDIS fraud in a coordinated way, treating it as a reliable revenue stream. When criminal organizations see a $46 billion scheme with weak verification systems, they move in. And for years, the systems designed to catch them simply weren't strong enough. Here's why this matters so much for the broader NDIS debate. When the government announced it was removing 160,000 people from the NDIS to control costs, the framing was about sustainability. The scheme is growing too fast, costs too much, needs to be reined in, and the fraud problem sits right at the center of that argument, in a complicated way. On one hand, the existence of billions in fraud is an argument for the government's position. If $2 to $4 billion a year is being stolen, then tightening controls, verifying claims, and cracking down on dodgy providers is clearly necessary. Every dollar stolen by a fake provider is a dollar that doesn't reach a genuine participant who needs it. Fraud doesn't just cost taxpayers, it directly harms the people the scheme is meant to help. On the other hand, disability advocates make a powerful counter-argument. They say if the problem is fraud, then go after the fraud. Go after the fake providers, the organized crime, the overchargers. Don't punish the 160,000 genuine participants by cutting their support to save money. That's actually being lost to criminals. Fixing fraud and cutting genuine participants are two completely different things, and conflating them is unfair to vulnerable people who did nothing wrong. Both points have real force. The fraud is real and must be tackled, but the people committing the fraud are overwhelmingly not the disabled participants. They're criminal operators exploiting the system. Cutting genuine participants doesn't stop the fraudsters. Catching the fraudsters does. So what is being done about the fraud specifically? The Fraud Fusion Task Force, established in 2022, is the government's main weapon. It brings together more than a dozen agencies: the NDIS, the AFP, the Tax Office, Services, Australia, and others to share intelligence and coordinate investigations. Operation Benz is one of its results. There have been others, with hundreds of millions of dollars in fraudulent claims identified and an increasing number of arrests and prosecutions. The government has also been strengthening the NDIS payment systems themselves, moving toward more real-time verification of claims, better checks on provider legitimacy, and tighter controls on who can register as a provider in the first place. The historical weakness of the scheme was that it was designed for speed and accessibility, getting support to participants quickly, which inadvertently made it easy to exploit. The reforms are trying to add rigor without making the scheme so bureaucratic that genuine participants can't access support. It's a genuine balancing act. Make the controls too loose and criminals steal billions. Make them too tight and you create barriers for the disabled Australians. The scheme exists to serve. Getting that balance right is one of the central challenges of NDIS reform. Here's the bottom line. The NDIS is one of the most important social programs Australia has ever created. It has transformed the lives of hundreds of thousands of Australians with disability, but its rapid growth, combined with systems that were initially too easy to exploit, created an opening that fraudsters and organised crime have ruthlessly taken advantage of. Billions of dollars meant for disabled Australians have been lost. That's money stolen from taxpayers, yes, but more importantly, it's money stolen from the scheme's integrity and from public trust in it. Every fraud case makes it politically easier to justify cuts that hit genuine participants. The fairest path forward is the one that goes hard after the fraud, while protecting the genuine participants. Catch the criminals, shut down the fake providers, verify the claims, but don't make vulnerable Australians pay the price for crimes committed by others. Whether the government's current approach strikes that balance correctly is one of the most important questions in Australian social policy right now. Do you have experience with the NDIS as a participant, a carer, or a worker? Have you seen the system working well, or seen where it breaks down? Drop it in the comments. This is a story where real experiences matter enormously. Like and subscribe for more Australian news explained simply. See you next time.